Now we're gonna stop it there. But 6 people were shot and a horse.
Breaking news, we're getting some new information about today's shooting outside the funeral in Brighton Heights.
Channel 11's Rick Earl joins us live. And Rick, I understand you just learned that the police officers that were requested by the church were not there.
Horses ain't cheap, bro.
Yeah, that's right, Lisa. Multiple family members here outside the hospital were telling me this afternoon the police officers were supposed to be at that funeral, but they say no one ever showed up. Now, I did speak with a law enforcement source just a short time ago. They confirmed that 2 Pittsburgh police officers were assigned.
Yo, hold on. So we're going to get right back to the video. But if you want to know how to draw or paint like me, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you want to support your boy and buy some of my merch, you know, I got information on that down in the description below. You can check out my store. I also got some new music coming out this Friday. So tap in, tune in, show some love. I appreciate you, and let's get right back to the video.
Hey yo gang, what's happening? It's your boy Araine TJ back again with another reaction video, and today we're going over the family. Now, you know, if you know already what it is, right? Like, if you're not subscribed, I got the link in the description below. Original by The Family. Go over there if you want to watch the whole thing without me, you know what I mean, interrupting. You know, if you want to hear that it's original pace, you know, all that. If you want to comment on the original guy, give him his like, you know, do that over there. If you don't mind watching the art to the side, and if you want to hear my take on it, you can stick right here, hit the like and subscribe for me too. So let's get into this video and see what it's about.
Urban Impact, Allegheny Elementary School, Allegheny Middle School, and Alderdice High School.
Yo. Nah. No way they just blick up the funeral, bro.
5 other people are responsible for a deadly shooting in the city of Pittsburgh.
These 5 people are charged in the August shooting in the city's California Kirkbride neighborhood. 1 man was killed and 3 other people were hurt. Police say 58 shell casings were fired from 8 firearms. Prosecutors say the videos presented in court today show the gunman responsible, but the defense argued that while the video may depict a shooting, it's not possible to see who was there nor whom fired.
Evidence during a preliminary hearing today for 21-year-old Jaylone Hines. He is accused in the shooting on Pittsburgh's north side, where 3 people were killed, including 2 innocent bystanders. You can see a number of shots were fired onto Cedar Avenue.
Today, none. You need to stop with this violence. You need to love each other. You need to communicate with each other. You need to reason with one another. This isn't the way. This isn't the way. This is out of hand, and it's constantly going on. I don't know who did it. I do not know. I was in there in the service. I have no clue. But what I do know is that this was senseless, and it makes no sense. It's too much. It's too much for our community, whether we be in our own community, whether we're in this outside community, having the service here in Brighton Heights. It's too much. It's too much for everybody. It messes with your psyche, all this trauma constantly. This is complex trauma, day and night.
It's going on 2 years, and we just starting to get some answers in regards to some viral daily shootings that happen in Pittsburgh.
Everything she said makes sense, bro. It's getting out of hand everywhere, gang. Like, literally everywhere, bro. Like, I could break it down. It might take a minute, though. But long and short of it, we don't really have any men anymore, you know? We don't really have any men anymore. And the amount of fathers or men willing to become fathers and play the actual role of a father, that number of men is quickly diminishing, unfortunately. And I feel like that's probably the biggest underlying root cause of most of this senseless violence amongst the teens, especially amongst us black teens out there. It's just crazy, bro. And it's really because of a lack of guidance and the lack of fathers, you know what I mean? And then that stems from immaturity, young men and young women doing the do without putting on their socks and boots, like just lust. And that also stems from lack of guidance, poor schooling. It's just it could go real deep, gang. I be studying all this. It could go real deep, but to sum it all up, a lack of guidance, bro, and a lack of fathers. For real. That's just, you know, if you got another opinion, comment down below and let me know. Let's discuss it, you know.
For people who don't live in Pittsburgh, you might think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pitt University, or even the Skyline when you think of Pittsburgh. But today, we're going into the inner city on the north side and talk about a group of young men who authorities claim made a game via social media. Quote, we don't have what you consider traditional games like you had in the 1990s and early 2000s. During his press conference at the police headquarters, he continued to quote, we have groups of people that are affiliated through interests, through social media, that sort of come together. They have no geographical boundaries at this point in time. Now, I did my research, and on the north side of Pittsburgh, it's known for Crips. But today, we're going to go into details about a couple shootings that went viral. A man funeral getting shot up, 2 innocent bystanders losing their life at a bus stop, a young man who cut his ankle monitor off and then had the nerve to have a video jail call while showing the ankle monitor to his friend. Not to mention, the guy who's allegedly responsible for shooting up a funeral and cut his ankle monitor off was on camera about to shoot a clerk inside a store. But thank God, the gun had jammed. So without wasting too much time, remember family, I don't give you no aim, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it, family.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. These youths out here really tripping, bro. They're really tripping. They done lost their minds, bro.
John James Hornacek Jr. He was one of 3 people who lost their life on October 15, 2022. May they rest in peace and loving condolences to their families. The other 2 were innocent bystanders, 2 females waiting at a local bus stop, Jacqueline Mihalik and Betty Everett. This incident happened on Cedar Street, Pittsburgh, North Side. Footage would later come out to show John and his friend would be shooting back, but it seems John had lost his life in the process. His 2 friends would get arrested and later charges dropped. J-Lone Hines and Sharon Troutman.
As we got a new look at new surveillance video just released from another shooting.
This video was introduced as evidence during a preliminary hearing today for 21-year-old J-Lone Hines. He is accused in the shooting on Pittsburgh's north side where 3 people were killed, including 2 innocent bystanders. You can see a number of shots were fired onto Cedar Avenue. Hines and a 19-year-old man are facing homicide charges. Hines is also charged with conspiring with John Hornacek Jr., who was a 3rd person killed in that shooting.
A couple days later, John will have his funeral and his enemies will be spotted up outside, even knowing local enforcement was on the scene. As soon as they left for a moment, they sprayed it up. Check the footage inside the church that was live streamed.
To enlist John's football expertise, he remained a North Shore stallion. John's love for basketball began at the Pittsburgh Project, Urban Impact, Allegheny Elementary School, Allegheny Middle School, and Alderdice High School.
And we're gonna stop it there. But this the suspects outside the church.
Nah, bro. That's wild, bro.
It's their soldier.
That Ford truck with them. They saw the police and they went back to the alley. When that Ford truck let them know that the police left, as they mentioned in the news clip, as they had to alert to another location for a second, which they regret. They used that one moment, fam, and came back.
Bro, ain't no way, bro. Talk about brazen, bro. Bold face. Bro, these youths is really tripping.
Now we're gonna stop it there. But 6 people were shot and a horse.
Breaking news, we're getting some new information about today's shooting outside the funeral in Brighton Heights.
Channel 11's Rick Earl joins us live. And Rick, I understand you just learned that the police officers that were requested by the church were not there.
Horses ain't cheap, bro.
Yeah, that's right, Lisa. Multiple family members here outside the hospital were telling me this afternoon that police officers were supposed to be at that funeral, but they say no one ever showed up. Now, I did speak with a law enforcement source just a short time ago. They confirmed that 2 officers, 2 Pittsburgh police officers, were assigned to that detail. But those officers at the very last minute were pulled for another assignment. After completing that other assignment, those officers planned to return to the funeral, and that's when the shots were fired and the shooting broke out. Again, my source telling me it's not normal procedure for Pittsburgh police officers to attend these funerals, but they suspect there was somebody anticipating possible trouble at that site, and that's why those officers may have been requested in the first place. Again, those officers pulled for another assignment, and then they were going back to the church, and when they were on their way back, the shooting happened. I also asked my multiple law enforcement sources about efforts to increase and beef up police manpower this weekend in light of any possible retaliation because of that shooting. Multiple officers tell me they have not heard any requests go out yet for increased manpower. And frankly, a number of them tell me, given the severe staffing shortages the Bureau is experiencing right now, that would be a rather difficult task to complete.
So you heard what they had to say, family. But those two people was later arrested. They was teenagers, and they both had a lot going on at the time of the shooting. Sean Davis to the left, 18, and Hezekiah Nixon, 16. So we cleared this Hezekiah walking in, family. Just 16 years old. And then Sean, 18 years old. Now let's talk about how they got caught. Sean was on probation for a shooting that happened inside a local mall. But at that time, he was only 17 years old. It happened at a mall called Ross Park Mall in PA. Apparently a fight broke out on the second floor of the mall. It was around 4:30 p.m. It was on a Saturday. The police said as many as 6 people was fighting. At one point in time, guns was drawn and shots was fired. 3 firearms were recovered during the investigation. The only juvenile arrested on the scene, 17-year-old Sean Davis. Now, while on probation, a year later, Sean would end up taking his ankle monitor off. And he would go to a jail phone call while talking to his friend and show him the ankle monitor as if though he instructed him on how to do so.
Wow, what an idiot.
I said you ain't had to cut it or nothing, did you, dog?
Edit?
No, you ain't had to cut your situation or nothing.
No.
I was about to say, you out there?
That's definitely alone, though. That joint right here.
Oh, you gotta do it again, show 3. So you off? Out here. Grandma.
Hey, what, bro? That joint was about to break, bro. I'm like, but I remember you told me, like, bro, you can't be doing this.
Yeah, you just gotta apply pressure on it. Yeah, grandma.
You just snap. I'm like,
Bro.
Now that was only 3 days.
Why would you do that? I say this before and I'm gonna say it again, bro. No matter what you doing, bro, try to use some sense, bro. like, come on, bro. Like, but then again, all this is the lack of schooling, bro. Like, bro, I be talking to some of my employees, bro, and I be feeling so bad for the current state of, like, society, bro. Like, modern, youths. Bro. Stupid be sounding harsh, but they really lack intelligence, bro. And it's because of the schooling, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Days before the funeral was shot up as well. But the probation officer didn't say nothing. And he had an extensive rap sheet. 2 years ago, he almost shot a clerk, but his gun jammed.
5, a Target 11 exclusive. One of the teens accused of opening fire outside of a church on Friday at a funeral tried to shoot a downtown store clerk 2 years ago, but the gun jammed. And that incident, like the funeral shooting, was also caught on surveillance video. Tonight, Sean Davis and Hezekiah Nixon remain behind bars in connection with Friday's shooting. Channel 11 News got exclusive video of the teens being walked into police headquarters for questioning just hours after the gunfire.
Surveillance video from 2020 fighting with a clerk at a downtown electronics store. The clerk tackles Davis to the ground, but then lets him up. On his way out the door, Davis turns, pulls a gun, and tries to fire. But the gun, according to the clerk, jams. Davis then takes off. He's arrested and charged with aggravated assault and prohibited possession of a firearm. 1 year later, while out on bond, Davis is arrested again and accused of firing shots inside Ross Park Mall. No one is hit. The case is ultimately dismissed after sources say a judge raised identification issues. Davis' bond is revoked, though, and in April of this year, he pleads guilty to aggravated assault in that downtown store altercation. According to an email obtained by Target 11, prosecutors recommended 3 to 6 years in a state prison based on Davis' criminal history. Sources tell Target 11 Davis has 2 previous gun possession charges as a juvenile. It's unclear what happened in those cases because juvenile records are sealed. But Judge Tom Flaherty releases him from the Allegheny County Jail after serving 9 months of a 10 to 23-month sentence for that aggravated assault. He was placed on 6 months of electronic monitoring on June 28th. So on the day of the funeral shooting, he should have still been wearing an ankle bracelet. Now, I asked the court administrator if Davis was wearing that ankle bracelet at the time of the shooting on Friday or if he cut it off. They declined to answer that question. I also questioned Judge Flaherty about the sentence. He said he could not discuss it. I talked with the victim in that aggravated assault case as well. He declined an interview but expressed disappointment in both the sentence and the nearly 2 years it took to resolve that case.
Well, we know now, fam, based on the video thus far, he took that ankle monitor off. And the day they got caught, Hezekiah Nixon got into the car they used to do the shooting. But also, Hezekiah had on him a firearm that had shell casing matching another shooting just days before. There was over 50 shots on the north side of Pittsburgh. He was one of 6 people arrested. He has 2 open cases and the only teenager that was in that case.
Prosecutors showed new surveillance video in court today that they say proves a 16-year-old and 5 other people are responsible for a deadly shooting in the city of Pittsburgh.
These 5 people are charged in the August shooting in the city's California Kirkbride neighborhood. 1 man was killed and 3 other people were hurt. Police say 58 shell casings were fired from 8 firearms. Prosecutors say the videos presented in court today show the gunman responsible, but the defense argued that while the video may depict a shooting, it's not possible to see who was there nor whom fired.
Bro, and you know what's crazy? I be thinking about it, gang. Like, you be hearing one 16-year-old and then 2-3 people over the age of 20, 21. And I just be thinking to myself, you know, they don't really actually love each other or care about your well-being or your future. Or none of them even thinking about the future, because imagine you live through war or whatever you want to call it, the hood or whatever drama they're going through, gang warfare, whatever. You going through your hardships, you live that long through it, and you gonna watch a young bull and just, yeah, nah, bro, come along with us. Like, I don't know, bro. I just feel like that's just crazy to me, bro. I quicker respect the guy who's gonna say, yo, I'ma do all the dope dealing, I'ma do all the slinging, I'ma do it all. You go to school and like you pick up them books, son. You feel me? I quicker respect that guy and whatever he's doing than the dude who's just like, yo, come along with me, let's go do the dumbest stuff ever. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel, bro.
During today's preliminary hearing, we heard from Casey White. He is the attorney for one of the defendants, 16-year-old Hezekiah Nixon. Nixon is charged as an adult in the August 7th shooting and is sitting in the Allegheny County Jail tonight. He's also charged in connection to the shooting that happened outside of a funeral home in Brighton Heights in October.
He's young. He's scared. I mean, he's in solitary confinement for 23 hours a day. He's a lot of questions are running through his head. These are allegations that are very heavy, that carry a lot of weight.
And after all this time, almost 2 years later, the DA comes out and say retaliation was the motive behind the shootings. Nothing else. A Pittsburgh street gang war. Once one body dropped, they retaliated. Some did the same night. And police are saying these 2 teenagers were involved in a span of 12 months. 20 people being shot on 3 different occasions and 4 people losing their life. And that's just what they know. This has to be the story of 2 of the most ruthless teenagers ever coming out of Pittsburgh. Family, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Once they trials start and get the rock and rolling, I'll make sure.
You gonna follow it? You gonna, yeah? Alright, cool. Well, that's how it is, gang. You already know what it is. Like he said, if you got anything you wanna comment, you could do it here, or like I said, you could hop over to the description and in there you'll find a link to the family. You could subscribe, like, watch more of his stuff. This is his point of view, this is his content, you know what I mean? So once again, for me though, if you like the drawings to the side, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks for watching my video, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.